Hey y'all, it is Scarlett and I am here on my third attempt to film this video. Okay, well, I've filmed it twice. Let's say I am on my third attempt to film an uploadable version of this video. And this lipstick color is making my teeth look a little bit yellow, but I don't care because I really like it. So, I am here, if you could not tell, to talk to you about the Pantone color of the year, Classic Blue. And I am actually really surprised at how many people are unhappy that this is the color. I've watched 3 videos so far. I've watched Kelly Gooch, I watched Alejandra Lisette, and I have watched Paula from A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It. I don't know her last name. I'm not sure if she's given out her last name. I don't know. But I watched those 3 videos and none of them seem particularly thrilled that the Pantone color of the year is blue. And Kelly and Alejandra were just disappointed. They thought it was like boring, kind of. That's the impression they seemed to give. And then Paula, she, at the beginning of her video, was unhappy because she isn't comfortable wearing blue eyeshadow. But by the end of the video, after she had swatched, I believe it was like 33 shades of blue eyeshadow that she had in her collection, which she did ultimately decide that not all of them were quite in the classic blue category. But she decided by the end that maybe she would try some of them out over the course of the year, which I was really happy to hear. She does have brown eyes, and for us brown-eyed girls, we're in luck this year because blue brings out brown eyes. My eyes look amazing when I wear blue. And I just wanted to talk about some ways to make blue more wearable that I didn't hear other people talk about. And I wanted to offer some options of some shades from some palettes that you might have, so you don't have to go out and buy one. Or, I mean, if you don't own blue eyeshadow, which I don't know how you don't own blue eyeshadow if you bought any makeup last year, because blue was apparently the color that everybody was putting in their palettes. Pop of blue everywhere. So if you don't own a blue eyeshadow, you must have been on a no-buy. And if you were, more power to you. I'm on one now. It's hard, okay? Need some prayer, please. But somebody's got to have a blue eyeshadow somewhere. Anyway, if you don't think you have the right shade, you can always buy a single. But if you do own a few palettes with blue in them, I had some shades that I wanted to suggest. Now, Alejandra and I seem to agree on the shade of blue that is classic blue. We operate on the Crayola scale of color. That is my frame of reference for colors. That has been my frame of reference for colors since I was tiny. That was my first introduction to colors. So anytime somebody says a color, if someone says melon, if someone says pink, if someone says red, the shade I think of is a crayon. That's just how my brain works. And granted, I'm a special kind of special, so that may not be everybody, but she and I agree on what classic blue is. And it seems that Pantone's idea of classic blue is a little more of a green tone than we think it is. Because according to me, classic blue would be like the shade of my lipstick. And that is called blue, let's see, Celestial Star by NYX. It's a NYX Cosmic Metals. Actually, I should hold it this way because then you can read it. How about that? Not that I expect you to go out and buy blue lipstick because it's not for everybody. But if you're feeling it, this is the year for you. And I actually happened to buy that lipstick before I knew this was going to be the color of the year. So that was just serendipitous. But if blue is something you're not as comfortable with, you could try a blue nail polish. Now, mine is more on the turquoise side right now, but there are a million shades of blue nail polish. It's very wearable. It's very subtle. You know, it's a way to incorporate blue into your life that you don't have to really, you know, full-blown commit to. This is a commitment. This is a commitment right here. Like, this is a look. This is a statement. So if you want to make a little less of a statement, or you want to speak a little more softly than I do, you can wear blue nail polish. I don't happen to have a shade in my nail polish collection right now that is classic blue. And I didn't get a chance to pick up any over the weekend. So I am going to be on the search for a blue nail polish. But if you're in my boat, we'll, you know, take turns paddling, and we might be able to keep ourselves afloat with blue eyeliner. I have two here that other people have not mentioned. Now, you can always wear navy eyeliner. Like, a lot of people have navy eyeliner because if you are wearing blue eyeshadow or if you have brown eyes, you know, navy can bring them out. And navy, I think, was pretty big in the 80s. Paula was really funny about her kind of phobia of blue eyeshadow, and the way she was talking about how people who grew up in the late 70s and 80s, blue eyeshadow was a thing, and she's absolutely right. Like, it was worn in a scary way. So, you know, I get it. But just because the color was popular does not mean we have to wear it in the same way. Now, maybe you think my eye look is very 80s today. I don't know. I'm just wearing blue eyeshadow, and it's 2020. So, I don't really care. This is what I came up with. I'm going with it. Also, I was born in 84. Yes, I'm old. So, I didn't really get the scarring from that whole era. I was too young. So, I don't have Paula's scars, bless her heart. But anywho, if you don't want to just wear navy eyeliner, if you want to be a little bolder, if you want to be a little more adventurous, I recommend LA Girls, let's see, it's Glide Gel Liner. It's really hard to read this because it's black packaging with dark blue writing on it. And I don't really think that was well thought out. Some of the colors are brighter, but like, if you're going to make royal blue and then they have a paradise purple, it's hard to read both of those. So you don't know like what the name of the color is. But this one is in royal blue. I am wearing it today, and you can't even really tell that much that my eyeliner is blue. It's a dark blue, and I'm going to show you. I mean, it's pretty dark, but it's not navy. And I feel like it's a little closer to classic blue. So if you want something a little more fun, or, you know, a little less traditional, then you can go with that. There's also, on the greener side, a little more Pantone's color for classic blue is Sunrise Blue from NYX, and it is in there. Okay, y'all, I'm going to say the whole name of this, but I'm going to have to read it off. Okay, you ready? It is the Slide On, Glide On, Stay On, and definitely a Turn On Waterproof Extreme Shine Eyeliner. Yeah, this eyeliner is so good, the name had to be this long. I don't think so. I think we could have shortened that quite a bit. So I call it the Slide On Glide On liner, and in my inventory I have it SOGO because I'm lazy, okay? I'm not writing that out. No, I'm not actually lazy. I just have arthritis. So anyway, if we compare the two shades, this one is a little bit brighter and a little bit of a greener tone because, as we all know, blue can be true blue. It can be a purple toned blue, or it can be a green toned blue. Those are the options for blue, or a gray toned blue. You can have undertones. So, this one is slightly more green toned, and this one is slightly more true blue, and maybe even leaning ever so slightly toward purple, but mostly more in the middle. So either of these is an option, and I'll put the names of all of these items in the description box so you can look for them. These are fairly new. I got all of these last year, so they should still be available. But if you want to be a little more adventurous, we can get into some blue eyeshadow. Now, Kelly Gooch, in her video, she was the first video I watched, so I'm kind of going in order. She mentioned, and I'm mentioning basically like the ones that I have that they mentioned. She mentioned the blue in the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, which is this blue right here. And it is more of that green toned blue, and is probably a little closer to Pantone's idea of blue, classic blue, than mine. But this palette was very popular. So if you bought it, then you have a pretty decent blue for this year. And she also mentioned her favorite palette, or one of her favorite palettes. She also loves the Sigma Enchanted and the Persona 2 palette. She mentioned the blue in there, and I would agree with her on that one. I definitely like that one, and I would go a step further and mention that it reminds me of the Candied Violets in the Too Faced Chocolate Chip palette, or the Too Faced chocolate palette. I know the chocolate chip is the matte one, and in that one the Candied Violets is matte. In the larger one it is a shimmer. So either of those I would wear. The Persona 2 blue, the Candied Violet, or either the matte or the shimmer of that one is another good choice. I just don't happen to own those palettes. I had the chocolate chip, I decluttered it. So my mom's currently enjoying that palette. It just wasn't for me. I'm not a matte kind of gal for the most part, and I don't know, just didn't do it for me. But Kelly also mentioned the Wanderlust palette from Profusion, like I said. And she pointed out this color down here, Enigma. And I agree with that. And also the next color, Cruise. Either of those, or those two together, would make a nice Pantone blue look. So those are the ones she mentioned that I own. And then Alejandra mentioned the Blue Moon palette from ColourPop. Mine is new. I just got it for my birthday from Cuddle Dragon and a friend. They went together and got me Blue Moon, Just My Luck, and Smoke Show. So I was pretty thrilled, and guess what? I don't have to include them on my 2019 inventory because I got them after 2019. And they were gifts, so they don't violate my no-buy. Yeah! So all kinds of loopholes going on around here. So these will be in my 2020 inventory at the end of the year. So I would use Clued In down here, or Mad About You is probably the color I would say is more like a royal blue, classic blue. But either of those colors is a good color. And she also pointed out the Face Candy Atlantis palette. Mine has seen better days, y'all. And I'm going to hold it upside down so you don't get the mirror. But this color right here, I can never remember the name of it, Empire, is a little bit dark, but it is buildable. You have to be very careful with this palette, okay? It is very pigmented. So go in lightly, like maybe get your brush within a fraction of a millimeter, Like if there's, is there a measurement smaller than a millimeter? Like a decimeter? I don't know. Like if decimeter, no, wait. Decimeter? No, that would be bigger. Okay. I had to think for a minute. I'm not metric. I'm in the US. So I had to think. But let's see. I think Milla is the smallest that we currently have. But anyway, get it within a fraction of a millimeter and like just breathe on your brush and let some of the dust go onto it from the eyeshadow. Like, I mean, you have to be so careful with this palette. But that color is a good color, and it's good for deepening up these other colors. Like, you could always use Ripples or Abyss, one of these, and just deepen it a little bit with Empire. But the main color that works in this palette is Vanished, and it's very reminiscent of the blue in the Masquerade palette from Juvia's Place, which Paula mentioned. And I don't happen to have the Masquerade palette. And what is up with my hair, yo? Oh, it is cold. It is humid. It is like, just, yeah, my hair. I'm always struggling with my hair. It's a daily struggle. Curly hair it has a mind of its own. It's sentient. But anywho, so this is very reminiscent of the blue in the Juvia's Masquerade palette. So if you have that, that's an option too. I just don't happen to own it. And another one that Paula mentioned, I had to remember who it was Cleopatra from the Nubian 2. Which is lovely and sparkly and beautiful. That's an option. There is, I have my little basket back here that I'm putting my eyeshadow palettes back in. It's where they live. They're going to bed. I'm putting them down for the night. And there is the blue in the Magic Mini that Paula also mentioned and may have been mentioned by Kelly. Kelly's video I watched first, so it's been a little while. But this dark blue, I don't know. It's very, very dark. I probably wouldn't call it classic blue, but she did. And, you know, we don't all have to agree on everything. So those are options that other people mentioned. For me, since, you know, those have been mentioned, I am also going to give you another option. This was popular last year. But don't go out and buy this if you don't have it, okay? Because that would be utterly ridiculous. Not just for one blue or for one color, okay? This is the NYX Modern Dreamer palette. And it is 40 eyeshadows, okay? And like they're numbered on the back. And it tells you like what's a shimmer and what's a matte, which I think is, you know. Oh no, it tells you what is a pressed pigment, sorry. And what is an eyeshadow. Because you know, pressed pigments are not, I say, for not meant to be used in the immediate eye area. Not the topic of this video. But I really like this blue right here. It is, I'm calling it row 2, number 5. And I'm going to swatch that for y'all because I haven't done, you know, I don't see the point in re-swatching things that everybody else has already swatched. I'd rather send you over there to watch their videos because they did an amazing job. And I will actually link their videos down below. So, but I wanted to give a different take on it, and that's why I'm bothering to make this. I kind of feel like I'm a little late to the party, but what are you going to do? Life is life. I have been living a whole lot of life lately. So that's that one. And honestly, that is probably the most classic blue eyeshadow I believe I have. And I really like it. It really matches my lip color very well. I probably should have put it on, but I didn't. I wanted to do a couple of different shades of blue. Just to give you an idea of different ways it could look. So There's that one. And then there is also this blue here. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, row 6, number 4. So we're going to swatch that one. I think this one might be a little more purple toned. We'll see. I'll do it. Oh, it's a little darker. T. Okay. I do my swatches like I kind of blend them out a little bit because you're going to blend it on your eye. It's not going to look like a stripe on your eye. You're going to have a brush, you're going to blend it out. So I feel like it's more realistic to kind of like, you know, fiddle around with it a little bit. But those colors are very similar. That's the first one and that's the second one. It's a little just darker. So, you know. And that is NYX Modern Dreamer. Then I have 2 palettes. I'm really surprised these palettes haven't been mentioned yet. But Paula did mention 2 people's videos that had gone up that I have not watched yet. I don't follow the 2 people that she mentioned yet. But I am going to watch their videos and I may become a follower. But I wanted to get up and I was laying in bed. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, y'all. Anyway, I was watching her video and I was like, I've got to get my video up or it's not going to be relevant anymore. So I got out of bed and decided to film my video. But I haven't seen anybody mention these next 2 palettes. And I think that's kind of crazy. So the first one is Take Me Back to Brazil by BH Cosmetics. And the 2 colors that I think are the most classic blue, you can't see me because I'm holding the palette in front of my face, but the 2 that I think are the most classic blue are the row of purples, that blue, and then the row of blues, the third one. Because they, like, one is, I think this one's a slightly more purple toned blue, which makes sense for it to be on the purple row. And this is more of a true blue. This is actually the blue I'm wearing on my eyes in my crease today. My non-existent crease because I have hooded eyes. I'm wearing in the area that I am attempting to make appear to be a crease. Makeup is lies anyway. No, I'm just teasing. Don't quote me on that. Don't get offended. But anyway, I'm going to swatch these. Let's see. Okay, so this one has a little bit of glitter in it, but it doesn't really get on your eyes. I don't really understand why they put glitter in mattes because they don't, it doesn't ever show up really. So I'm going to swatch these next to the eyeliner and blend them out like I do because I'm me. So, okay. And this palette is just a little bit powdery. It does have a little bit of kick up, but I don't mind that because it's my favorite freaking palette that I own. Cuddle Dragon gave it to me and he knows me. He knows me so well. Like, I freaking love this palette. I love it so much. Okay, so this one is the blue row, 3rd shade. This one is the purple row, 2nd shade. Yeah. I had to think for a second. I was like, is that a 3rd shade? No, it's the 2nd shade on the purple row. Which, I mean, you can tell that that's the one. If I say purple row, you're going to know that that's the one on that row because it's the only one that's like that blue. We have deductive reasoning skills, I'm hoping. Okay. So this one is a little, I don't know, slightly, ever so slightly more on the green end of things. And this one is ever so slightly on the blue-purple end of things. So, or it could just be my eyes. I mean, you might be seeing this totally differently. But either way, I think both of those can work for blue eye looks. And the next one is, I don't think anybody's going to be surprised. Da 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 da! Take Me Back to Brazil Rio Edition. Because I had to have both. And, of course, let me hold it back. Or try to anyway. Okay. Either way, it's the same shades. This one here and this one here, but they're just shimmery. Okay, so I am going to swatch them for you though. Okay, and I'll do it in the same order that I did the other ones. Yeah, okay. So, okay. Blue row, purple row. It's a little weird. You'd think it'd be the other way around. And maybe I do have those backwards, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So those are shimmery options. Because Rio Edition is more shimmery and the regular OG Take Me Back to Brazil is more matte. So those are eyeshadow options that other people haven't mentioned. There you go. And for my last couple of options, they are a little more out there. One of them is the NYX Cosmic Metal Celestial Star. And that is this one here. And I'm going to swatch them on my hand so you can see these two next to each other. Because there are two options here. I know, two blue lipsticks. What? So, okay. Celestial Star. And then the other one that I have that could also be considered classic blue according to Pantone standards is Dark Nebula. So here's Celestial Star, Dark Nebula. This one looks a little more purpley. I'd consider it a little more classic blue. This one is a little more green toned, but I'm going to swatch them next to each other. And you can decide. Yeah, nobody can really tell you what classic blue is. You know, what shade it is. And one reason that I haven't mentioned that I'm actually glad that blue is the color this year is that Living Coral last year is actually harder for more people to wear, especially if you have an olivey, yellowish undertone like I do. Coral is hard. I'm more like melon. I can't do like a bright orangey red. Like it has to have kind of like a brown undertone, or it has to be like a true orange, or it has to be like a true red. The red orange has to be like a pink orange, or, you know, I can't do coral. Yeah, it didn't work very well for me. So blue, I feel like a lot more people can wear. It's, you know, more neutral, I guess. So anyway, these are Celestial Star and Dark Nebula. That looks a whole lot greener on camera, but it's kind of maybe a dark teal actually. So maybe that won't work for you. I don't know, but it's an option. So last but not least, I don't know if you can tell, but when I turn my head, I have on a bluish highlighter. And it is Ulta's, let's see, Liquid Illuminator Duochrome in Solar Eclipse. I have that on, and then I layered it with, give me a minute. Okay, I'm back. I layered it with the Essence Never Give Up Your Daydream palette. Yes, it's technically an eyeshadow palette. I don't care. Down here in the clouds is a blue-white duochrome. I'll swatch it for y'all. Because for some reason, the Ulta one was not showing up quite as much as I wanted it to. But you can see it a little bit. It's a duochrome. Yeah, there you go. That's a little bit better. But yeah, it's a white with a blue shift. And the Ulta is Once it dries, it's a little bit brighter. Let's see if I can find somewhere to swatch this. Okay. Yes, I stick out my tongue when I'm concentrating. But, okay, I did not have any blue on my hand, on my finger, so that you can see. But it is right there. You can kind of see it shine a little bit. Okay. But I don't know, it just didn't show up on my cheeks the way I wanted it to. So I layered it with in the clouds. And I actually really like it. I don't mind a blue highlighter. But I'm a pretty adventurous person. I actually wore this on Pokemon Day for the Piplup look, the Piplup Community Day. I wore this lipstick, and then I did a different eye look, which I am hopefully going to redo and film, because I want to post in advance my Pokemon Day looks, Pokemon inspired looks, but we'll see. It just didn't work out last week. I had an autoimmune flare, and I took a Decadron shot on Tuesday, I believe. Did not sleep at all. Went to a doctor's appointment on Wednesday, very early, and my mom drove, and I was having really bad sinus issues because we had some weather coming in, and I was so sick I actually threw up from sinus drainage. Then, let's see what else happened. I was just kind of really sick. I was getting over the autoimmune flare. I was dealing with the effects of Decadron, which it makes you hyper, and it makes you unable to sleep, and it makes you crazy. You get a little bit impatient and cranky, and yeah. So that wasn't awesome. And then my sinuses were still bothering me over the entire weekend. We had a cold front coming in, and like some rain, and apparently my head did not like that at all. So yeah, I was pretty miserable for most of the weekend, but I did go out, do community day. I got my 3 shinies. For anybody who doesn't play, you try to get 3 shiny Pokemon of the one that is featured that day, and so that you can evolve you can evolve them and have one of each form. So unfortunately, Cuddle Dragon saw 0 shinies, and he normally has the shiny luck. Like, I joke that I cuddle with him to steal his shiny mojo, and take the luck from him to get the shinies, and apparently it's working too well. I need to give some of it back. We'll see. Hopefully the next community day you'll have better luck. But that's it for today. I'm so sorry it took me so long to get this video filmed in a way that I thought was good enough quality to post. I really did film it twice. Both times I just felt like it was crap. It required way too much editing. It was terrible. It was just so bad. I guess it was because I felt bad. But I feel much better now. Thank God. And even though it's freezing, it is friggin' freezing in Georgia right now. Like, it is freezing temperatures. And we don't get that very often. And I'm a wimp when it comes to cold weather. Like, I'm a baby, okay? I do not like it cold at all. I whine. I complain. It's terrible. I hate to be around myself when it's cold. But hopefully it's going to warm up in the next couple of days, back into the 50s. And that I can deal with if I don't have to go outside. But I hope that this video has been helpful. I hope that it's given you a few options for ways that you can wear blue. Is anybody else actually happy that the color is blue? I mean, most of my family's favorite color is blue. My sister, her husband, my nephew, my dad, my grandma, they all like blue. So, and Cuddle Dragon's favorite color is blue. So, that's a lot of people's favorite color. Like, I know a lot of people who love blue. So I would imagine people would be happy. I don't know. I'm just puzzled. But I wanted to be someone who posted a video about being happy about it. And I wanted to mention the BH Brazil palettes. And I wanted to mention some blue eyeliners that are not navy. And the blue highlighter. And blue lipstick. So, hopefully it has been interesting. And I will catch you guys later. And let me know how you're incorporating blue into your makeup, your wardrobe, your jewelry, whatever. And I'll catch you later. I hope that you're well until then. Bye. Mwah.